What is about these e-cigarettes? Now, these fads come, people get very enticed about these new fads. Now, what is this e-cigarettes and whether e-cigarettes are more harmful or less harmful?
See, it is like I telling my child that use e-cigarette because it is safer than cigarette. Correct? That is the only logic.
That's the only logic.
That is the only
yes,
logic.
Yes.
Correct?
To put it in very plain,
I have
simple terms,
used-
that's the logic. Yeah.
So I have used my child. Okay? I have used the word my child. So if I have to tell my child that either use e-cigarette, which is safer than cigarette, or cigarette is harmful, that is the correct logic. It is like telling my child that if you want to really commit suicide, jump from the 4th floor, because 4th floor, if you jump, you are likely to get saved, but if you jump from the 6th floor, you are likely to die. Do I have option to tell my child that don't jump from any floor, don't commit any suicide? I want to exercise the choice of not telling people to use any form of nicotine. The reason is that you start with nicotine e-cigarette, which might be safer, which is 600 rupees a cartridge. By weekend or maybe month end, मेरा पॉकेट का खर्चा खत्म हो जाएगा, तो मुझे निकोटीन सप्लाई के लिए सिगरेट ही खरीदना पड़ेगा. So basically, by telling people to use e-cigarette, I am promoting them to continue cigarette use.
You're telling doctor that let us not get into this typical stupid binaries of whether to jump from the 4th floor
Yes.
or the 6th floor. Rather, let us understand, let us not jump from
Yes.
any floor.
So for me, less harmful is not acceptable. For me,
Let's
no
not jump
harm.
from any floor.
No harm is acceptable.
Yeah, no harm is accepted. What about COPTA? Whether it has really been instrumental in reducing the cases or tobacco use, we always press for some harsh laws, some effective laws, and we expect that they will have a huge, widespread impact on the society. Has it been the case with COPTA?
So I'll give you an example of COVID. In COVID, by the time the strain number 1 killed people, it mutated. It mutated into a newer virus, Omicron virus, then this virus, that
this
virus.
strain and that strain, yeah.
So every time the virus kept mutating, it became more harmful and slowly it figured out. Tobacco industry is like the virus. It keeps mutating. It makes newer versions which to beat the previous laws. So what has happened, the COTPA was made in 2003. And I must give credit to Sushma Swaraj who brought this law against the, I would say, complete pressure from all around. In 2003 and 2022, the industry has mutated and it has learned how to violate the laws. And today, Dr. Shekhar Salkar made a wonderful presentation. The laws have to be dynamic, in sync with the changing times, to plug all the loopholes which are best exploited by the industry.
Doctor, are you saying that we have reached a stage where we need some harsh amendments into COTPA?
The harshest amendment is that the COTPA should have a phase-wise complete ban on tobacco. Why are we beating around the bush? When we talk about tuberculosis, we say tuberculosis eradication, malaria eradication, polio eradication. But when it comes to tobacco, which is killing 10 times more people, we use the word control. Why can't we have a law which promotes eradication at the end of a time which can be decided by all stakeholders?
I think the oversimplified reason that is always given is the economic reason.
It's rubbish. The reason is that, I'll tell you, 2014, Ministry of Health constituted a commission look into the economic aspects of tobacco. In 2014, the loss from tobacco for only 3 diseases, see, please understand, when I say loss from tobacco, 3 diseases, these are healthcare costs. But when somebody dies in the family, it's invaluable, correct? 13 lakh deaths are happening who are invaluable to the family, but forget about them. 13 lakh people, they get some kind of diseases, cancer, cardiovascular and chronic coronary artery disease. So the government of India constituted a commission to evaluate the healthcare cost of tobacco. In that year, it was 1 lakh crore. In that particular year, not counting the dead bodies, not counting other diseases, only the healthcare cost 1 lakh crore. In that year, the excise revenue from the tax of tobacco was 12,000 crore. That means revenue from tobacco is only 11% of the loss from tobacco, and that loss is in form of human loss.